like A, B chorus, like chorus, pre-verse,
Like a
verse,
pop
verse,
song.
like yeah, some sort of like kind of structure that there's none of fucking that in like any of these
Mm,
songs. Where I think
okay.
like that's just hard. And there's a few where like he'll at least say the same line again, and you're like, I'm like, nice, we got something. Like it because
Wait
it
a
does
minute.
just feel so. It's exactly what you had said about like you want to see one of the epiphanies I had during this is that you like to feel like you're in the room as they're creating it,
Yeah.
but I want to hear something that was created. So we're
Yeah.
listening to this pile of garbage. I'm
Let
just
me
kidding.
get this out of my screen. I'm so upset that you started this way.
No, I don't mean to start this way.
So we're talking about Dripping by a band called Pile, which if you if this is actually the fifth episode you're listening to, you may have recognized the names of all the other bands before this one. And this is the first one that's like, what is
Yeah, they are
this?
pretty not pop. Like I forget what their number of listeners was on Spotify. It was in the hundreds of thousands, I think.
They came across my algorithm again. New album released that year in 2017. So they're back in my feeds. I didn't listen to any of it. I was like, so this just tells you like how not bought in I was to this band at this time.
Wait, okay, but you heard this one song? Did you listen to the album?
I honestly I don't I have no memory of
Okay.
like listening to the new you mean
In
Dripping or
2012. Yeah, like the 20 dripping, yeah.
I did a little bit, yeah.
Okay, so
I
you did
poured
try to
through.
listen to more.
I
Okay.
did. And I actually when we get into the tracks, I'll tell you the one that I was like, this isn't for me. Because it happened. But so, 5, 6 years passed and then new album comes out. I literally didn't even listen to it. I know this band, I know this one song, I like it. I
That's
don't know, I
enough
was
for me.
busy. I just didn't get into it.
I
Yeah.
was busy. So,
So I was in the middle of moving. I was like, I don't know. It's the honestly the album art of that one looked a little weird, and I was like, I'm just not even gonna.
okay.
Uh, so stupid, but that's where I was. 2019, Feed Again. It's back in the feed again. They released another album. That album's called Green and Gray, and there's a song from that album called Firewood that I loved, and it was on all my like end of the year album
Yeah.
lists that I made, and I played the hell out of that song, and it's still one of my favorite Pile songs. So if you love Dripping, and you were like, I want to listen to more Pile,
Go
Firewood
firewood.
is
Okay.
where you start. Fast forward another, that was it. Again, didn't even pay attention to the album. I was like, I
Okay,
just like this one
why
song.
are we listening to this damn album? If you're just like, this is almost a decade now. Like, skipped it, skipped it.
I skipped it. The type of music this is, we can talk about it now, is pretty hard rock.
Yeah, what is
Um,
what I was trying to describe to people in my head, like the words basement rock came into my head. I might have
yeah,
made that up. Is that a real thing? Okay.
I love that. I think it's a great way to describe it. Yeah, it's four guys, you know, guitar, bass, drum. I guess there's a keyboard or something. Um, and just like pretty loud, right? Like,
Pretty loud.
yeah. And I don't think I was like super into that kind of music other than like when I really wanted to get in a groove on a run, like when I was 20. And I think it just kept missing me, missing me, missing me. And it's something around the last, 4 or 5 years, 3, 4, 5 years. Like we were just talking about this before we started. Like when your life starts to get a little boring, I don't even boring isn't even the right word. It's just like
Monotonous and
yeah, you're just like, oh, the rhythm, the routine, it's settled,
yeah,
right?
that
Like
settles the word. Yeah, I like that.
the music that I started to look for was a lot different. And I was like, oh, I really want like something that has like some rawness to it. And this is like the perfect timing, right? Like
Raw is a good word.
really raw, yeah.
It's some
Um,
raw shit.
so
Huh.
anyway, this is like how I found Pile and started to love them and decided like they are my favorite band. I think that that's true about them right now. As you could probably imagine, this album
Fascinating.
is not a lukewarm one for me. Um, what I realized from this exercise is that this is the one that has the most consistent play, like all the way run through, and the most songs that I can identify that are like these are classic Pile songs that
Hmm.
I never get tired of. Like it has the most number of those. So that's
Wow.
why I chose this one in particular, even though it's not like in my history with the band, it
Right.
isn't like one
No,
of
that's
them
fair.
that really
That makes
came
sense.
out, right?
Right.
Um, and I think it's like their third released album. So it's like, nothing special about the chronology of this either. The thing that I will say about this band and this album, because I think it's true of both, is that I think there are like two characteristics that you see a lot here on Dripping that are what I really love about the music
Hmm.
itself. And one is just honestly the way that like the percussion is done. Like the drummer on this, you're a former drummer. I'm sure you can hear it. Is really distinct. And
Hmm.
like you can tell when you hear this guy drum, you can tell it's him. Like that, I really
Hmm.
feel that way. And like these songs are propelled by his drumming. Like truly, that is like the heart of it. And the other thing is just the vocal performances. We talk a lot about how I'm not a vocals person necessarily. I'm not a
Yeah.
lyrics person necessarily, but the lead singer of this band, whose name is Rick McGuire, is probably my favorite singer. And like
Interesting.
what he does with his voice is the most interesting thing to me.
Wow. It's so not present for me. And I guess like I think this was very illuminating as like we're getting closer to like what is Kevin style and what is not. Like this is very far from the like I would just gravitate towards this thing. And a lot of it is the lyrics and the vocals are very low. I feel like I've heard the phrase like low in the mix. Like they're covered by everything else. You know what I mean? Like, and it's funny, like this was the first time in listening to some of the music you've mentioned a lot, like, oh, there's that one little hook or something. Like you go back to a lot of lyrics from Radiohead, from Frightened Rabbit, and like this was the first time that I had at least understood, oh, okay, I kind of see what you mean about some of these, where the other
Mhm.
ones it just didn't come to mind whatsoever. So maybe that kind of makes sense. Is like you like a little, just a little nugget of something. And
A
that's all you
moment.
need. That's all you need for your lyrics and vocals or whatever. And like the rest is just there as the dressing. And well, actually, sorry, the rest is there as the meat. And like those little nuggety vocally things are just kind of dressings for you. I don't know. It's just a thought.
I I love that. And I'm glad that you identified that because I wrote somewhere in my notes that I don't even know why I'm looking at them at this point. Um, there's so many moments on this album, like so many, and you're saying the word nuggets. I was thinking like just moments of like expression and moments of like, I don't know what, like, I don't actually know what that means in the narrative of the song,
Oh,
but
there's
I
no
love
narrative.
this
Like
part.
nothing, man. Like literally, like
That's
I
not
listen to
true.
it. I'm like,
That's
this.
not true.
I'm sure you'll have like research answers and you not. But I guess I wonder is like, how many times did you have to listen to it to get that out of it? Like, I've probably listened to this album maybe 5, 6 times by this point, and like
Incredible.
nothing's coming out in terms of. And honestly, it really might be like if those vocals are low in the mix, like I kind of just tune them out. They're just therefore I'm not thinking about a story whatsoever. My overall thoughts would be like, it's just too sporadic and not consistent enough for me that like I think having no structure really stresses me out. To me, it's
We got to
so
dig into
uninteresting.
this. What do you mean no structure?
I don't know. There's no like we remember last time we talked about like the like A B chorus, like chorus, pre-verse,
Like a pop
verse,
song.
like yeah, some sort of like kind of structure that there's none of fucking that in like any of these
Hmm.
songs. Where I think
Okay.
like that's just hard. And there's a few where like he'll at least say the same line again, and you're like, I'm like, nice, we got something like it because
Wait
it
a
does
minute.
just feel so. It's exactly what you had said about like you want to see one of the epiphanies I had during this is that you like to feel like you're in the room as they're creating it,
Yeah.
but I want to hear something that was created. You know what I mean? Like this
Mm.
is very raw and very much like if you just like picture it, you're like, oh, these guys just got together and started playing music, and I'm listening to this live. Like it really feels like that in so many ways. I don't know, they just evoke that. And like obviously it's produced and like there are elements of that, but you really like, I remember walking to work listening to it one day and I was like, oh, okay, no, that's it. You have to just imagine you're at a concert and then it really fits. And you're just like, yeah, I'm watching these, like picturing them like bopping around, dancing. I was like, okay, this makes more sense to me now.
Basically, you've defined rock and roll. You're like, oh, what you like about music is when people show up and then just like summon the thing and they're just like, kind of just going for it, right? Like
That's
they're
what,
building
like
the
you,
plane.
that's how you view like rock and roll.
I think that's a big part of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
I know that that technically would be jazz, but I just don't like the way jazz sounds. So I wish I could get into it more, but I don't. I can't. Um, for me, there's a rawness to rock and roll, and
Yeah.
part of that is definitely performance. It is, I need to hear the room. It is, I need to bring a couple people together and see what kind of thing they create when they just
Yeah.
all plug in their machines, right? Um, and I don't know, there's an aliveness to it that I find I can hear when it's not there. I
Mm.
cannot, I've always had a hard time putting words to this, but I can tell you when that aliveness is not there, and that will shut down an album faster than anything for me.
But
Um,
okay, but you're saying like you've never felt that in listening to their music, essentially.
Pile.
Yeah.
There's one album that they unfortunately get into that a little bit, and it's mostly
Okay.
because the arrangements are done. I think a lot of it was written in COVID times when it was mostly like a single person working on it,
Yeah.
and you can kind of tell like this was something that was crafted by like people in separate places and then put together, right?
Wow.
And you can hear it. It's just like, oh, all right, like. What's interesting is for that album, which came out in 24, is the one I don't like that much. I went to see them live that year, and when they played it live, it was incredible. It was incredible. I was
I
like,
remember you
I've
talking about
never
that show.
heard,
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, these songs sound totally different and they're so good. Like, I couldn't believe it. And I'm going to call it dynamic music. And that is the other piece that I wanted to touch on was you said there's nothing like they're not returning to anything
Yeah.
really, right? There's no structure. This is part of the thing that I think is brilliant about them. And other than the drumming and the vocals, is I think like bedrock to what like this band does is they just make like their songs are arrangements. They're rock songs, but they're arrangements. Like
Mm.
you could almost think of them like classical music, but with like guitars and drum, right? Where it's like it's not really you 2 minutes into a song, you don't have any idea where it's going to be in two
No,
more minutes.
no.
Like you
Like the
just
whole
don't
time
know.
you're like, I don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, which I love. Like
That's
that's
okay.
what makes it repeatable for me is like I can listen to this 100 times and in succession because I'll hear things in that third minute that I just didn't hear the first 40 times because your brain just can't latch on to like
Mm.
it's not anticipating anything. It's just listening, right?
I've even like in this month of knowing them, have even gone through ups and downs. I think like the first time I listened to the album, I was like, okay, like, like definitely not my cup of tea, but like there were some things I remember liking. Then listens like 2 to 4 to 5 even. I was like, no, like it's just like I don't know, it just
Oh
wasn't.
God.
And then today I sat down again to do like my full notes and I wasn't the most into it, but then put it on again later today and I was like, no, like there's just like there's some things here. Like
There's some things here.
there's
What
some
which is
things here.
interesting because I told the story of how it took me 15 years to like this band. And maybe it just takes a while, unfortunately for them.
But this does feel like a good starting song. Like it's a good opener.
It's a good opener. I agree. It is a propulsive song, and it, I think, defines really well, like, this is what this band does,
Mm,
right? Like this, and so in that way, it's a really good opener.
yeah, you know what you're getting into. I get that. Yeah, yeah, I agree with that. I don't remember any little nuggets from this one.
You don't remember any nuggets? There's the
No.
best nugget is in this song. What about the vocal performance?
I don't like I can't I really like so I think I actually put this note here is like why it does feel like it takes me longer or like yeah, how many times would it take me to really like get to know this? Because I think because it doesn't have those like I latch more onto those kind of structural elements like a chorus, like a something that I can think more about. I'll tell you the things that have been sticking in my head in these past like days, but none of them out of Baby Boy.
No, no, baby boy. This
No.
has the reason I prompt you with that is because there's yelly moments on this album, and
Yeah,
this is the
it is
first
true.
time we get the yelly moment where he's like he screams these baby teeth won't grow and that's like the climax of the song where there's like a minute left. And that to me is a great moment where it's like I running, like this is why it was my running song. Is like this is
So
like
this is the
your
running
like
one. Okay.
yeah, yeah, this is the running song. This was the one that got shown to me by the algorithm for the very
Mm.
first time. This
All
is
right, I was wrong.
the first song.
I was wrong about what I
What
thought.
was your guess?
My guess is track six. Bump a Grape.
Oh, I love that song. We're gonna talk about
I
it.
wrote this might be Rocco's song.
It is my song. I love that song.
Run away. Like that's really been stuck in my head.
Is it mostly because you could hear him say it?
It might be. It might be that I like finally got some words out of this guy.
Because this is like
Um,
not compared to a lot of this album and compared to the last song, it's not that loud of a song.
no, and I think I kind of liked that. Like it was a little toned back. Um, but I did know that, but like I wanted it to go somewhere kind of with that, and I felt like it didn't
It
necessarily.
doesn't.
It doesn't
Mhm.
like go somewhere. I said
No.
I wrote like I wanted it to go somewhere. It just existed.
Yeah. This is not one of my favorites.
Yeah.
My feeling on this is there's a lot of good elements here and none of them come together completely.
Mm.
Which is, it is what it is. I do think I agree with you, the runaway refrain, and I think the guitar's really good. I think it sounds good, and a lot of these pieces are fun, but it's just like it never coalesces. And the other thing is, I like to hear the room you're in.
Yeah.
I always think about this song as it sounds like it's in the other room. Like it sounds like it was recorded in the room over. I don't know
Oh, there
why.
was one I had put. There was one I had put the note on. I was like, "Did you guys forget how to use a microphone or something?" Like, I had like maybe that was this one. I was like, "What happened here, guys?"
It is, there are moments of like odd production on this album, I will say
Hmm.
that, or like rough production. And I think this is one of them.
Okay.
So I
But
give
I
it a
give it a
good.
good song. I like
Yeah,
honestly, truly, a lot of these like I gave mostly goods because I was like,
I
they're
love
not
that.
bad. Like nothing is like, oh, I can't listen to this because there are just always interesting things at some point, like whether it's that little guitar riff or this or that, you're right. Like there's just it's interesting. It's very interesting. I guess that's a dynamicism, right? Like that's the dynamicness.
Yeah, yeah,
All right, let me get the
it's good.
Browns. Not to be
Browns,
confused with the Jones.
which is funny. I do think for a long time, I would get them mixed up
Really? I actually
because
today go ahead.
as somebody who's only listened to this 6 times, isn't it kind of hard to remember what song is what?
Oh yeah, no, 100%. Like, because there's
Yeah,
no lyrics. You're not like, oh, he said.
yeah.
I actually wrote one of the times when I was like, oh, he finally said the words. Like, and like, I think I heard what was it?
Oh, I don't know.
It might have been grunt like a pig. Does he say
He
grunt like
does.
a pig?
Oh,
Oh,
I don't
it's
know what
track
he
four.
says.
Yeah, I said, hey, did I hear the title of the song?
He says bubblegum in bubblegum.
Oh,
He sends the Jones and the Jones. And he
that's
says
another one of
baby boy,
my
obviously.
that's another one of my nuggets is the Jones. The Jones, the Jones, the
We're
Jones.
gonna get
Okay.
there.
Okay.
The Browns, not to be confused with the Jones. Track three.
Great.
Um,
I said great musically. I think musically it's a good song. Great song.
but
But I think it's just not something I would seek out. And this is where I started like getting into this, just like, is this really just butting up against taste? Like this is not just it's just not something I would seek out,
yeah,
like
I think it
um
is. Yeah, grunt like a pig. I
Ground
can't
Like a
wait to
Pig.
talk about grunt like a pig. First of all, great name,
That is a pretty good name for
right? And he says it apparently. I didn't know that.
this was one of like the first time I listened to it, I only started taking notes like after a few songs. The first note I wrote was, "Are you guys lost?" Like what
Lost.
happened?
So they're like, "Oh, we played three songs and I'm
Like
starting to
it
get
just
it."
comes.
And now,
Maybe that's all, and that's what I mean about like, even if you look at the album, like there's no structure that you're like, oh, it makes sense that this came after that. Like, and it's
well,
not.
where should this song belong?
It doesn't make any sense. None of it did. Um, no, I put in this one. Yeah, the screaming is not for me. Like that one, I'm just like, it just doesn't.
I agree with you. Um,
Um,
I agree with you on this one.
you're better at this? When I was listening to it today, is the guitar riff repeated in this and in other songs? Do you
No,
know?
I don't
Like,
think
I
so.
think you would be. Okay, okay.
Mm-mm.
All right. I was just curious because I
No,
remember
this
like
is a
hearing the riff and being
really
like,
repetitive guitar riff. Like they
yeah.
basically play the same guitar
So it
riff
must have just
the
been
whole
like from
time.
the song itself that I was thinking of it. Okay.
I think this is one of the least dynamic songs, probably the least dynamic song.
Yeah.
Um, I think it's the least Pile song. This actually doesn't sound like from somebody who loves this band, this doesn't sound like this band. Um, and they haven't really made anything like it
Hmm.
since, I don't think. So in that respect, it's an interesting song. Like for that reason, it's kind of cool where you're like, because to me, what they're doing here is pure, like pure bare knuckle, like we want to beat the hell out of something in this song, and we
Yeah.
just want to see what it sounds like, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't really work totally for me though. It's too raw.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have those like it doesn't have any cool moments other than I guess they say grunt like a pig.
Great album art, by the way. Like that's
So good.
I really like that. I don't know. I
Me
mean,
neither.
obviously it's like taken from a photo of a person, but like I really like it.
It looks like he's melting, right? And I always
Yeah,
thought
exactly.
dripping, melting, like he
Right.
looks
That's what
like
I was
he's
kind of thinking. Yeah.
yeah.
But honestly, it just looks like they just all they did was take the photo and then add different textures to different part of his face. Like there's
You're
no
right.
when you actually like look at his face, it's not like he is
It's just
physically
an old
dripping.
man. Yeah.
It's just a guy. I don't know. I really like it. I really do like it though.
You know what? I don't think I've ever noticed that until right now, Kevin. I always in my head thought, oh yeah, he's melting a little bit, and he's not. He's
No, they
not.
just color his features differently.
I can't
I,
believe I learned something
after 15 years.
about
I love the
this.
expression, the glasses, the outfit. Yeah, it's a good album art.
It's great.
Anyhow,
Prom song. Let's go.
um, I like this guitar, that riff, that like that guitar solo-y thing that happens like 3 to 4 minutes in is phenomenal.
Music
Like
to my ears.
that's that's what like that is, and it's so good that it's enough to get me to listen to that whole like because I think it's a longer one. I think it's a 5 minute song,
It's a longer
but
one.
like even it's funny too because like that's so stuck in my head. Like right now, I can just like hear that. I love it. And then you start to play the song, and you're like, wait, is this the right song? Like, was this?
Mhm.
Because you're right. It's so their are just so different that it's not like yeah, it's not like it leads to anyway, that's really great. The note I did have is I wish it had like 10% more. Like I think it was just like after that guitar comes in there, I wish there was just like something else there, but I think it kind of goes down after that.
You're 100% right. You're 100% right. I can't believe how much you nailed this song. Like from the fact that it's long and you kind of get lost in it when you're first like you're like
Yeah,
where is the guitar solo? But like you know the guitar solo is
gotta be here
coming,
some point.
right? To the point where you're like after that you're like this is amazing and then you're like wait, what? It just
Yeah, you
ends?
gotta do something
Like
else, guys. Yeah,
uh you're 100% right. I
but that's some great music right there. That's just really great guitar.
the reason I love this other than the guitar solo is this song still gives me anxiety about prom. Like
Hmm.
I'm 32 years old. I am married. And I'm still like, I get what that guitar is trying to say about
Oh wow.
prom.
Okay. All right. I'll give that one a better listen then. Okay.
It's incredible. Bubblegum, number 8.
I just wrote these guys do rock.
You're at this point tired of the
Yeah,
album.
that's I think it's like, but they're just like they're really like I think this is the part where I got to like okay, like this is rock, like this is rock and roll, like you really get
That's
it.
when you realized it, 8 songs in.
That's yeah, 'cause honestly that might be true because I think for a lot of the more like to me, the experimental aspect is something I hadn't necessarily assigned to rock and roll. Like the more, yeah, like experimental, sporadic. Like, I'm still thinking of like poppier rock stuff, which is my own fault. Um, like a Foo Fighters, where like, okay, cool, there's still some choruses, there's still this and that or whatever, Black Keys. Um, but this was the one where I was like, okay, like when you really just zoom out, like they're just like rocking on some instruments right now. Like they're doing it.
They're doing it. This
Good
was
song.
we haven't given out Cowboy Song yet,
Oh, I
but
forgot about Cowboy
it's
Song.
time.
I did not do my homework. But it could make sense if I only comment on this is that these guys do rock. It's like, okay, this is Cowboy.
It has a cowboy thing to it. I just wrote the guitar feels lonelier on this song than the other ones, and that's the Cowboys.
That's funny.
I This is interesting. This was the standout for me from this exercise. Like
Oh, like
I've
coming
listened to
back
this.
to it like this. Wow, that's really
Yeah,
interesting.
this is the one that I didn't love before, and now I love.
That's cool. That's
Yep.
fun that you got something new here.
I got a new one where I'm like, now we got to add that to the list. Steve's Mouth is number nine. It's a
I
bad
honestly, if you
bad
had
song.
said to me like 15 minutes ago, like, hey, is there a song on this album called Steve's Mouth? I'd be like, no. Like, I don't
First of
know why
all, bad
that's
title. Bad title.
not good. You guys can do
If Grunt
better.
Like a Pig is like you can't then go, oh, 5 tracks later, Steve's Mouth. Like,
Steve's
come on.
Mouth.
This is the same rock band. Uh, I feel the same about the song itself. It's the only one that's almost a skip for me.
Hmm.
Almost.
This is where I got to. I said, is it too raw for me? It's definitely all over the place. And this is where I could see the Radiohead and Rocco-ness in it. Like your weakest song kind of has to be your second to last because like people are so close, they're like, okay, like I
Yeah.
can deal with this until I get to the end.
Especially if the last one has a payoff. And I think it does.
I agree.
It's like it's good to put it here. So let's talk about the payoff.
The
The Jones,
Jones.
not the Browns.
The Jones, the Jones, the Jones. That's what
I
I
love
think
it.
of the three. Yeah, that's the third thing that's been in my head, like listening to
Yeah,
this album is
same.
Runaway, guitar solo, the Jones, the Jones, the
Bro,
Jones.
I can't believe So Hard made it into the list of things that stuck in your head. That's amazing. But I'm happy
Runaway.
for it.
I said, yeah, this one's fun. It's a great song. There's some more movement to it for me. Like it does like have a semblance of structure that I think helps me a lot. And like
It does a
it's
little bit.
going somewhere. Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, I said, has some semblance of structure finally.
Finally, at the end, track
Something.
10.
Um,
I I think it's fitting that it's the last song because I think, and I don't know if they did this on purpose, I think it takes pieces of the rest of the album,
oh, that's cool.
like the best pieces of what they do, and just says like, let's do it
I
all at
see.
once.
Okay. That's interesting.
Uh, so it is a great song. I actually didn't say it was legendary, mostly because I don't know if I can give three legendaries
Yeah,
out,
three's a lot.
and I think Prom Song and Baby Boy deserve it. I really
Okay.
do.
Yeah.
So I gave it a great. Also, I do think there's a narrative here too,
Okay.
similar to Prom Song. And the question that I think this song is asking, which I've been asking myself lately, so we could really get into something here. He literally asks at some point, he says, I should say, I've bought all these books, but they're better as insulation and wallpaper. Because if you want to better yourself, ask your neighbor.
Whoa.
I think about that line all the time.
Wow.
And
That's
lately I've been like,
really thinking
with
about it.
I've been really thinking about it, and I'll tell you, like, this is going to sound crazy. We were talking a little bit about AAO before we started, but we're reaching this point now where like people just turn to their computers and
Mm-hmm.
in this sense, turn to their books to like learn things all the time. And I think we are starting to like, is there a danger of like losing a little bit of what your neighbor knows? And I
Hmm.
know that's not the point of this song. Like, the Jones is about keeping up with the Joneses.
The
And
Jones, the
like,
Jones, the Jones. Yeah.
I, I think I think it was written as like fuck that, like don't listen to your neighbor, like read a book. But he
Hmm.
doesn't say that. He delivers the opposite message. And now it's like now I wonder, like it's a reflective song now for me because it's like I don't actually don't know what you mean, and now the world we live in, you might be right, even if you were saying it sarcastically.
Yeah, right. Because it was what 15 years ago almost now that he wrote this.
Yeah.
No, I like it. I have a friend who like she'll say a lot like it's okay to wonder, like
Yeah,
to
it's okay to wonder.
just push that need of like, oh, okay, I need to get to the answer now. Of like, I agree. I love getting other people's thoughts about it because like people are pretty reasonably commonsensically smart. Okay, sorry. I think we all that's okay. Okay, maybe a little too much.
Big deep breath.
I really did have to take a pause after I said that. But like there are a lot of people in my life that I really like. I think one of the reasons I actually do love them and hold them close is because like I would like trust the answer to the question I'm gonna ask them. Like I think
Yeah.
my mom is actually a very good example. Like
Oh,
I'll just like ask because like I think she just has a reasonable, like practical, rational way, like in certain things of just like, hey, how would you fix this thing? She'd be like, oh well, I probably would do this and then that, and it's just like, oh yeah, like, and even sometimes she'll joke, she'll be like, you could have Googled that, Kevin. I'm like, yeah, but that's not the same, Mom. Like, I'm not doing that.
you're right. So again, we're probably not equipped to like really dive into this conversation, but I wonder like because I agree with you. Like my gut says it's not the same. And I would really love to investigate like why is it not the
Mm.
same? And in fact, take you know, a step further than that. Why is it actually better to ask your mom or to ask your friend or to ask a
Man, there's a lot of
colleague?
deep questions here from the Jones. Wow.
But I've been thinking about it a lot, man,
That's
because I'm
really
like,
cool.
I could just turn Claude on and be like, and I've been doing that. Like, I've been really kind of like trying to understand what I've been missing out on. And I'm like, oh my God, like, I can't believe how much we could just live in front of our computer and just like only learn things
Mm.
from these devices now. And I know I sound like I am 75, but I just feel like we have to be, that has to be, I have to believe that that is reductive somehow. I have to believe that. I know that this is, again, an odd way to end this conversation. Um, we're both people that like studied science quite a bit, you much more than me,
Sure.
but it's not like we were English majors, right? Um,
No.
and I know that what I'm about to say is almost antithetical to like the way science works, but I think that we are in a phase of time now where any individual person could know information that no other single individual person knows. And when I say know, they can retrieve that information,
Mm,
right?
mhm,
You can do a search of any variety and you can find out things that no single person knows because it's now an
right,
accumulation of a
right.
bunch of research. And I know that that's like what science is about. But I am starting to feel a little bit like you can see a runaway version of this
100%.
where everybody who knows something doesn't actually know, like they're not the primary source. And we get to a point where it's like you can't ask the person who knows the thing anymore. Like we've
Mm.
just lost that. I don't know if that's a problem or not, but it's like driving me. I'm thinking about it too much.